how is camp going so far? Tell us your impressions of how you're feeling about things and how everything's looking.
Rusty, but to be expected. Just there's nothing that really prepares you quite for actual full-speed football action. But really, the guys have embraced it. Really, all you're looking for at this point in time is just to be fundamentally sound and have high effort, knowing that the rust will shake itself off. So from that standpoint, it's been pretty good. They're trying hard. They're giving good effort. They're trying to really work on their fundamentals. Once the pads come on, it'll be a little bit more realistic.
How does rust reveal itself as far as running backs go? I mean, they never remember how to run. You know?
Yeah, it's more so your running plays. Like, you do a lot of drill work in the summertime, right? But just the actual fundamentals, I'm out there having to get lined up, full speed, ball's getting snapped, what's my assignment? Okay. Just that piece of it is usually where there's a little bit of a delay, rust in that area. But I really felt the jump from yesterday to today from that standpoint.
What is the team mindset? I mean, Coach Goller spoke to us a little bit about, how you guys have set up everything, and from your standpoint, what's important to this team? What are they focusing on, and where are their heads as they're working?
I mean, number one is just to be consistent, and that goes with our mantra, to be who you say you are. Like, be you at the end of the day. Be accountable to yourself, be accountable to your unit, be accountable to your teammates overall. Like, that's really all of it at the end of the day. He is truly always about, and this program is always about, controlling the things you have control of. And if you can focus on those things, whether it's in the phase of a game, one play mindset, whatever happened to previous play, doesn't matter, next play, or it's in life, being able to focus on the things I have full control over, make the important stuff, focusing on things I have control over, you're good to go. And that truly, really is what encompasses the entire be who you say you are.
Coach, if you could comment on the young man who we'll be talking to in a couple of minutes and his work so far in the running game in general.
Yeah. Man, I am absolutely thrilled Dom is here. He really has a unique background, given his pro baseball career. That veteran presence is really felt in the room. The guys really respect him. I know he's excited to finally be out. I know in the spring he was dealing with a little nagging injury that held him out. He's excited to be out there, but really to have him here from that veteran presence, really lean on him a lot in the room. Put him in charge at times to try to be a leader, try to hold guys accountable. They really respect him, and even he made an incredible point just now after practice to our guys. One of the best things I've heard in a long time. So just having him here is great. The run game itself has been really improved. I think Coach Hudanik has done a great job. The guys up front in putting together a really solid O-line, and obviously I feel like we have some really talented backs in the room. So run game is coming together. Now it's just a matter of seeing what we're really good at, and that's what we're trying to figure out right now. Like, trying to build some depth at running back, trying to build some depth at the O-line, and the run game itself. You're really just trying to see which run concepts are they good at, and you're just going to keep working that until you get to the end of camp. You have an idea from that standpoint.
What did he say that was impressive?
You always talk about, like, in the room, in the classroom, like, being able to spit the information back. But it's different when you're on the field, right? And he truly said, because guys were saying, fellas, if you don't know the plays, like, let's make sure we're doing more, studying more. If you're confused, ask questions. And he kind of stopped everyone and just simply said, listen, fellas, all of us know the stuff in the classroom. Now it's just a matter of being able to do it full speed on the field, and all that really requires is for you just to slow your mind down and relax, process the information. When a ball gets snapped, go play, move on to the next play. Again, for a young man to say that, I thought that was pretty impressive.
Do you have a general philosophy as far as wanting to have a bell cow or a spread out approach as far as backs go?
Love the spread out approach. I think in today's game, like when I played, it was, I had 35 carries, 40 carries. Like, those days are over. I like to have the spread out approach. Number one, it keeps the guys fresh. As the defense gets worn out, in the fourth quarter, whatever play the defense is on, it's half the amount for that back, so he is still fresh. And also longevity throughout a season, like just to be able to have one guy carrying the ball 35 times for 12 games, your body will break down and make it. My job is to, number one, get them to the next, to the end of the season, right? And then also, obviously, we're all preparing them to be able to get to the next level. So I want their bodies to be fresh. So loving to have multiple guys. Now in the game, to be able to play 6 is impossible, but you'd love to be able to play essentially 2.5 if you could.
What does it mean to have a guy like Dominic who's been part of a national championship team?
It's invaluable. Like, just the biggest key that you have from the experience is you know what it's supposed to look like. And obviously, we are building something here. And there's been a lot of people here who've been on winning programs, won championships, but to be able to have a player who's done it, to be able to spit that back out, not just the guys in our room, but also to the rest of the guys on the team, he can truly say, fellas, this is what it's supposed to look like. And no one can tell him otherwise because he's been on a team that has been the most successful team at the FCS level for the last 12 years. You know what I mean? He knows what that looks like, and I think that experience is invaluable.
And how would you describe him as a back? You know, blocking, receiving, running, his skill set. What's the comparison, or what are we going to see when he's in action?
Powerful, extremely powerful. He is smooth. He's got some swivel to his hips, but he's a really powerful runner. He is the type that can wear defenses down throughout the course of the game.
I talked to Kelly a couple weeks ago, Joyner, and he was throwing out some numbers like I think we can have a pretty, as far as total points, but also a loaded backfield, a couple 1,000-yard rushers. Do you guys, I know you don't set stuff like that, but do you get a sense of confidence they have a pretty good group from the guys?
Yeah. I think the group feels pretty strong about themselves. You know, the key for all of us in all of that, we have goals, which is always good, but to be able to stay in the process and not get comfortable or complacent with it all. So within that, knowing the group is pretty deep, the challenge every single day is to never get comfortable and to be able to continually push yourselves forward, to have that mental toughness, to not feel like I've arrived, to feel like we're good, to always know there's always something I can improve and get better at. And that's really the challenge every single day. That's what I challenge them with on day one. On report day, yesterday on day one, today on day two, and I'll continue to. The idea is that every single day you have to be able to come out and do the little things right over and over and over and over again. Everyone can hit that half-court shot once. We're trying to hit it as many times as Steph Curry does, right? But the idea is to have the confidence, yes, but not be overconfident where you feel like you've arrived. So I got to keep working every day with my process, make sure my process is right.
Now, some guys, the players, are kind of so-so on training camp, you know, kind of happy to see it go. How do coaches feel about this immersive few days you got where it's just, you're working pretty hard here?
Yeah, not gonna lie, training camp's a grind, right? But the great thing is I got a decision to make. I can sit here and feel like it's a grind and be negative about it, or embrace it and just work. And if I can do that, I'll get something out of it more than I normally would. It doesn't mean it's not hard. I'm not gonna sit there and pretend that it's not hard, or that it's not a grind, or that it's not long days. It is, but I have no control over that. I do get control over how I go about it. So attack it the right way, which goes back to what I said about the unit as a whole. Don't feel comfortable, don't be negative, attack it the right way, control the things you can, and then take it one day at a time, one period at a time, one event at a time, and you just keep stacking the days. And that's how you build sustained long-term success.